Okay, y'all, we can go ahead and get started. So first, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Lindsay Philo, and I work with the Office of Accepted Students in Bearcat Orientation, and I'm the Accepted Students Coordinator. And I just want to thank y'all for being here today. I know it's kind of the middle of the day, lunchtime, so everyone's kind of a little slumped. But thank y'all again for being here. I do want to let y'all know that this is being recorded just in case anyone needs this information afterwards, and so that we can also post it to our website. But I don't want to take up much of their time because I know they have a lot to go over, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to financial aid, and they can introduce themselves and get started.
All right, my name's Allie. I'm from the financial aid office. I'm an undergrad counselor. And Chris, do you want to?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm also one of the financial aid counselors here at Sam Houston.
And I'm going to share my screen. All right, can y'all see the presentation? Yes, yay. Okay, so applying for federal and state aid. U.S. citizen and permanent resident qualify for FAFSA. What FAFSA stands for is Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You can locate that at studentaid.gov. FAFSA is a standardized application that collects demographic and financial information about students and family. The FAFSA may be filed electronically or paper form. It is eligible in English and in Spanish. Texas residents are eligible for TASFA. TASFA stands for Texas Application for State Financial Aid at collegeforalltexans.com and submit to your office. And of course, for 2021-2022 aid year, we're using the 2019 taxes, so prior year. Important deadlines. For FAFSA is actually open right now, and we use the prior academic year. So for FAFSA 2021-2022, it's open, as well as our scholarships for CATS application. September 1st was the opening date for that. The priority deadline for both is November 1st. Why is the priority deadline so important? It's best for students to maximize a work package, and grants and scholarships are limited and given out by application and completion date. What does the FAFSA look like? Of course, if you are a new student, you will need to complete a new form. So you will have to start your new FAFSA process. If you're a returning student, you will have to log in with your FSA ID. And of course, you can locate that at studentaid.gov. And how do you sign in? If you're a new student, you will create a federal student aid ID. Once you have access to your account, you will also need to have your parents do and create an FSA ID, because they will have to sign your application and of course your social security number and save. What important information do I need to know? Input your social security number, of course, 2-year prior tax information, so 2019. Or you can use the IRS data retrieval tool. That is very important. You can link it from the IRS to your FAFSA application. It, of course, reduces documents requested by the financial aid office. So if you as a student have worked in 2019 and you filed your taxes, you can use the IRS retrieval tool. And of course, if your parents worked in 2019, they can also log in their IRS data retrieval tool and link it to your FAFSA application. And of course, next question, will you be attending a technical school, a community college, or a university? This is important, of course. This is where you're gonna add the codes for university. So for example, Sam Houston's code is 00306. And of course, if you're thinking of going to another institution, then you can search that code for that institution. At that time too, as well, please make sure what degree you're seeking. So if you're a freshman, you're gonna seek the undergrad. And of course, first year. What is your parents' marital status? Who do you live with? And who provides for you the most? Dependency status. So independent students will check yes if they're 20 years of age or older, married or have children, working on master's or doctorate program, active duty or veteran, have dependent or other than children or spouse, foster care or a ward of the court, emancipated minor, legal guardianship, or at risk of homelessness. If dependent, if none of these apply, then you are considered dependent. So when you're considered dependent, you will need to utilize your parents' tax information from 2019. Chris, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, what if I have a special circumstance? So what's considered a special circumstance is normally parents who are going through divorce, or maybe went through an involuntary income reduction or loss of income. This is normally something you can't report directly through the FAFSA. So what we require students to do is still submit the FAFSA with the information from 2019. And submit the FAFSA, and then you will contact our financial aid office, letting us know what is your special circumstance. As for COVID-19, that is considered one of the special circumstances. If your parent did lose their job, has filed for unemployment and has been approved, or have lost hours. So you can contact our office after you submitted your FAFSA, letting us know that there was changes in the income as drastic changes compared to 2019. Through the awarding process, after you have submitted your FAFSA, you will then be placed into the awarding process if you have not been selected for verification. So most students, that is what normally happens. You submit your FAFSA, will receive your application within the next 35 business days. And then 33% of students do get selected for verification by the U.S. Department of Education, which this means is that you'll provide additional documentation such as parents' 2019 tax information, maybe your own tax information, and there's some forms that you'll have to submit that the school provides for you. You'll provide those forms to the school, and you cannot be awarded until all these documentations are received from the school to the school. And then after your verification process has been completed, then you'll be placed into the awarding process. How can you check what is your verification status, whether your documents have been pending, received, reviewed, or completed? You can either check your student emails or check your MySim account by logging into your MySim and then going to your financial aid requirements. So there are two types of aid when students are awarded. There's need-based aid and non-need-based aid. So need-based aid, this includes scholarships, grants such as the Pell Grant, educational opportunity grant, supplemental education opportunity grant, the SOG grant, state grants such as TPEG, and the Texas grant. The subsidized loan is considered as need-based aid. It is a loan that does not accrue interest while you are in school. And then the last one will be work study. It is a need-based aid as well. That is aid that you will receive as you work. And then we have non-need-based aid. We have the unsubsidized loan, the Parent Plus loan, and merit-based scholarships. As for the unsubsidized loan, that one does not. That one does accrue interest as soon as the loan is dispersed to your account balance. The Parent Plus loan is a credit-based loan that your parents will have to apply for. They will have to log into their studentaid.gov using their FSD ID and apply for the loan. and then you would receive a decision whether your parent was approved or denied. If your parent was denied, then of course you would just contact us and we would let you know what are further options for you. And then merit-based scholarships such as football scholarships, that is considered non-need-based aid as well. There are annual loan limits, so that all depends whether you're a dependent student, such as Ali mentioned earlier, or you're an independent student. And that also depends on your classification. So each classification has a limit, such as the freshmen. They are limited to receiving $5,500 per each academic year. And then when you become a sophomore, you'll receive $6,500. And then juniors and seniors do receive $7,500 for dependents. Now, if you're an independent student, then you will receive $9,500, $10,500 for sophomores, or $11,500 as for junior and seniors. In order for you to be eligible for financial aid, you do have to meet SAT. Sam Houston SAT policy is having a minimum 2.0 GPA and having a minimum 67% completion rate. And then also financial aid does pay up to 180 hours of attempted hours. And that goes for all institutions within 180 hours. And then how to apply for scholarships. As for Sam Houston, you will log into your MySam account. Once you have been accepted, you will click on the blue and orange icon, Scholarships for Cats, by logging into your MySam. It is a general application. It's 25 questions. First 3 is your name, your date of birth, your address. It's really easy. You'll submit that, and then we'll receive the application immediately. However, it is very competitive. It is not guaranteed upon submission, but if you do submit your application by the priority deadline, as Ali did mention, your application will be prioritized and you'll be reviewed as one of the first, or your application will be first reviewed. Another way to seek out resources is reaching out to your high school counselor to see if there's any external scholarships opportunities out there, and they can give you more information on how that works.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry to interrupt really quick. There's like an orange bubble on the presentation that's kind of blocking some of the information at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
And then that will be to the next one. So this is our contact information. Our phone number is 936-294-1774, and also we have a fax where you can submit, such as your verification documents or other documents that are being requested from our office. Or you can always visit us in person. We're on the 2nd floor, and then if you have any general questions, always feel free to call us or visit our Sam Houston website by going to shsu.edu/financial aid.
Hey, Lindsay, do you want to do the questions after or for financial aid?
No, we can go ahead and start with questions. Someone did ask if you could go back to slide 11 for a moment.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me go back.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute and you can ask, or if you'd like to ask in the chat, we can also answer through there.
Of course, the annual loan limits, we can't increase annual loan limits. So if you're eligible, if you're a sophomore, you're only going to be eligible at $6,500. We can't increase. The only loan that we can increase is actually the Parent Plus loan. Of course, if the parent applies for the Parent Plus loan. And we can increase that Parent Plus loan up to the budget if the student is needing up to their budget.
Someone asked, how does a student qualify for independent status?
I can go back to that screen. You have to meet the requirements for independent students. So 24 years of age or older, married, working on master's, a foster care ward of the court. You can actually, when you do the application, you can actually bubble in that you're a foster care ward of the court or an emancipated minor. When you do that and it sends it over to the Department of Education and we receive your application, we will be notified that you selected foster care or emancipated minor, and we will, financial aid office will be requesting documentation to confirm that you are foster care or that you're emancipated minor, and then you will be classified as an independent student.
And there's a question in the chat. Applying for financial aid right now, what school year does it apply towards? So right now there's two applications. There's the 2020 and 2021 for the current academic year. If you're going to school right now and you haven't submitted your FAFSA, you can still do so. If you are looking to attend Sam Houston or any other institution, the 2020 and 2021 academic year, or FAFSA has opened on October 1st. Again, that one, the priority deadline is November 1st. So to maximize your award package, you must submit your scholarships for CATS and your FAFSA by November 1st of this year. But that only applies currently to the 2021-2022 FAFSA application.
Of course, you can do your application at any time, but if you want to maximize your awarding package, we definitely recommend students doing it by the priority deadline. Of course, if you're wanting to go to another institution or thinking of going to another institution, make sure you double check their website because they might have a different priority deadline than Sam Houston. Is there any other questions?
I have a question. It's kind of off the subject a little bit. Do you know if moving forward to next semester, are they going to go more online or are they going to still have on campus? Do you know?
I think they're doing both. Of course, the student will choose if they want to do an online course or if they want to come in person.
Okay, because I know that's going to determine if they're going to stay on campus or off campus and stuff like that. So what is the rule for a student to move off campus if they're going to have mainly online classes? Because there's really not a point to being on campus if you're not going to have any.
Right. So if you're registered on only all online classes, there is a distance fee that is waived. Is that right, Allie?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
If you're fully online, you only get charged for your online classes and not all tuition. How do I say? Sorry, Allie.
I think we're actually going to have a representative from Residence Life right after this presentation. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to answer that question a little bit better. But the university hasn't come out with an official statement about what next semester will look like. I'm thinking that it will be similar to kind of what we had this semester, but we don't know until that official statement comes out.
Do you know when that's going to come out?
Hopefully pretty soon. I haven't heard anything about a specific date.
Okay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, of course. I was going to ask, will y'all talk a little bit about like scholarships for CATS and how, I know because a lot of people think that sometimes you have to apply for every single scholarship, but it's just one like over a kind of umbrella application, correct?
Yes, so it's just 24 questions. Of course, you can look at all of the application if you want to review what they're requesting, but it's a general application. Of course, the first question is what's your first and last name, your email, and of course it gives you, it does ask you specific questions in regards to, you know, what are your goals here at Sam Houston and outside, and that will actually help for you to get a scholarship. Of course, scholarships are very, very competitive, especially for freshmen. So we, of course, definitely recommend not only do the scholarships for CATS, but of course, to reach out to your high school counselors to get local scholarships. And of course, if y'all need any help reviewing the 24 questions, you can call our office or stop by, and we can assist with the 24 questions.
Yeah, does anybody have any other questions for financial aid? I know a lot of like the questions for financial aid are very personal. So if y'all do have questions for them, y'all can always call or email or come up to campus because we are open 8 to 5 weekdays, not on Saturdays. We won't be here. Okay, anybody else? Okay, well with that, then I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to our Residence Life representative. We have Molly. So if y'all have questions for her kind of as she's going through her presentation, go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll kind of monitor that. But we will also take questions at the end of her presentation as well. So thank you again, Financial Aid, for being here. I really appreciate it. Y'all are great.
Okay, guys. So my name is Molly. I'm a housing ambassador for Residence Life. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. So I'm a housing ambassador over at Residence Life in the office, and I'm going to give you guys just a quick presentation today over just the general housing process and how everything works. So let me go ahead and get everything situated right now, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that way we can get started. Give me just a moment. Okay, and then like she said, if you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat and then I'll do my best to answer those, but we'll definitely go over questions at the end as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, can everyone see this? Okay, perfect. So Residence Life is in charge of housing and dining on campus for all students. So keep that in mind as we'll go through, but just a summary of what we'll be doing today. So we'll just be looking at life on campus for everybody, as well as the different meal plans that are available for students on and off campus, as well as some of the different learning communities that we have available. And I'll go more in depth when we get to that slide. And then we also have some of the housing styles or the floor plans available to you guys. And then you can find all of this information that I'm showing you guys on our website as well. So it'll be under Campus Life and Culture on our main webpage. So here we'll have applying for housing. So the housing application has already opened for the fall, but you guys are not too late. So October 1st is when that housing application opened, and it's a housing application for all students right now. So we do prioritize freshmen on campus, but all students are allowed to live on campus. But first year students, so if you've graduated within 9 months of starting at Sam Houston, you'll be considered a first year required. So regardless of your classification, you will be required to live on campus in the fall of 21. And then so how this application works is basically you'll go onto our housing application. So it's on our housing portal for Residence Life. And then you'll fill out the general application. It's just a general questionnaire. So it's going to ask you some contact information, and then it'll have also a quick survey. And that just kind of helps us with roommate matching and all of that stuff. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. And then at the end of that application, you'll put down a $200 deposit, which is refundable. So if you guys decide maybe Sam is not the place for you, or you don't want to come here, you've got other things going on, we'll give that money back to you guys. And then you'll also get that money back if you decide to move off campus at any time or when you graduate. But that deposit just kind of holds your spot on campus. So you can do that through a credit card or an e-check. And then we also have something available called roommate selection. So if you already know somebody and you want to room with them for the fall semester, or you meet somebody from now until March, you can go ahead and request that that be your roommate. And you guys just, it'll link your accounts together, so it'll help us in the future when we're pairing you guys. So that roommate selection opens March 1st, and it's only available through the month of March. So we'll close out on the 31st. But if you don't have anybody in mind right now, that is totally okay. It's just an optional thing. So if you don't have anybody yet, you can just skip that. And then the room selection will happen at a later date. So we'll send out what's called a time slot once you complete your application and put down the deposit. And that time slot will typically be sent out the first week of May. And then it'll last until July 15th. And then you can still apply after that, but anytime after that, we'll go ahead and place you into our room ourselves. And then if you're a transfer student, I don't know how many transfer students we have in here, but if you're a transfer student, it is available, the application is still available to you. However, we do prioritize freshmen since you guys are required to live on campus, but we will close that application at a certain date. It just depends on how many spots we have available, but typically it's around March, I would say. And then once that application closes, we can go ahead and put you on a non-guaranteed waiting list. So we'll just ask for your name and number, and then we'll reach out to you if we have anything available in the future. But if you guys need more information on that at the end, I can go ahead and elaborate for you. So these are just the steps and the deadlines for this $200 deposit. So if you guys decide that you don't want to come to SAM or you're going to do something different, we can go ahead and refund you that money. We do keep a $10 processing fee, but the $190 will go back to you. So as long as you cancel for the fall before July 1st, you'll get that full $190 back, and then anytime after that up until August 1st, you'll get $100 back. And then just some more important information, make sure that once you guys complete your housing application and your deposit, make sure that you go ahead and get that meningitis form uploaded to your patient portal as well. And then if you guys need access to the patient portal, once you've been accepted, you already have access, but you can go online to the Student Health Center's website, and it'll tell you all the information about the meningitis shot as well. And then make sure that you guys are checking your SAM Houston email for important housing and campus information once you get accepted. That's how we'll communicate with you in residence life once you have gone ahead and done that application. Okay, and then let me pause for a second. Let's see, do we have any chats? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, I think you have 2 questions so far, Molly. You want me to read them to you?
I can, so I'll just put it over to the side. So can current students request a roommate for spring 21? So we don't have any options for requesting roommates for current students. We do have what's open right now is a house, it's a hall transfer. So it allows you to move within the residence halls and 2 different residence halls. So if you wanted to go ahead and do that, it's online and available to you if you're a current student. However, we don't really have an option for just selecting a roommate right now. And then will non-first year students be able to retain their room choice for the spring? Okay, so when you sign a contract with Residence Life, it is for the full academic year. And so you will check out of your room in December, but it's just for that winter break period. You'll still have your spot in your room for the next semester if you guys are wanting to stay there. But you also have the option to go ahead and change residence halls as well through that hall transfer. I hope that answers your questions. So for meal plans, all students living on campus are required to have a meal plan unless you live in Bearcat Village, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, but that's kind of our apartment style resident hall on campus. So that hall actually has a full kitchen in each room, so they're not required to have meal plans. But all the other students are required to have one of these residential meal plans here. And so there's 3 different types of residential ones. There's the all access meal plan, the 20 meals per week, and then the 15 meals per week. So the all access is what you're automatically given when you apply for housing. And it comes with an unlimited amount of swipes at the dining halls, along with $125 in Bearcat bucks. So these Bearcat bucks are they're dollar for dollar they're like dining coins. So you can go and spend them at any of the meals, the fast food places on campus. So that includes like your Chick-fil-A, the Panda Express, the Steak and Shake, all of that good stuff on campus. You can go and spend that. And then you can also reload Bearcat bucks at any point in the semester. You just cannot reload dining swipes. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And it's $2,145 per semester, and that's per student as well. And then the 20 meals per week, so it's 20 swipes and then $175 in Bearcat bucks. And then the 15 meals per week is 15 meals per week. So 15 swipes, $225 Bearcat bucks. And then these prices are here as well. And then at any point in the semester, you can also change your meal plan if you are unhappy with it or you feel as though it's too much or too little. And then we also have what's available called commuter meal plans. So these are for students living off campus. So it could be transfer students, current students, or just anybody commuting. So you guys can choose between these. These are not required. And then students on campus cannot choose between these. So these are just for off-campus students. And then these are per semester. So you'll have 90, 60, or 30 swipes per semester, and they each have $300 in Bearcat bucks. And they are a little bit cheaper, but you are getting less meals with these. Let's see. So another thing we have on campus, and this is put on by our first year experience office. So these are living learning communities. So these are basically organizations or programs within our college that allows students who have the same mindset, who have the same majors, to live in the same residence hall. So this is a really great program. Most of our learning communities are housed in Piney Woods, but we do have a couple in Lone Star and Belvin. So Belvin is, if you're a fine arts, mass communication, all of that stuff, you can apply to live in this one. But this is exclusively for arts majors and all different types of media. And then we also have criminal justice. This is perhaps one of our largest ones, and this is in Lone Star Hall. This Lone Star Hall is right next to the criminal justice building, so it's that's really great location-wise. And then here are some other ones that we have in Piney Woods. So they're all co-ed, so they're organized by major. However, you won't have students of different genders living in the same room. But these are really great programs. I'm a huge advocate for learning communities. I was in one as well. So this is definitely something to take a look at if you're interested in that at all. If you see your major here and you're interested, I would definitely go to First Year Experience, their website, and to learn more. They do have applications, but they're really great programs. It really gets you in there with your professors and other students, helps you form relationships. They're really great. And then also another thing to keep in mind for these learning communities is if you're in one of these learning communities, you are required to stay in Piney Woods and take a few classes that are similar for your learning community. Okay, so let me go through these. Let me go through these chats again, just really quickly. Okay. Oh, there's quite a few. Okay. So food times less than expected pre-COVID, but costs are the same. Okay. So right now, that's a good question. So this is for the Johnson family. So you guys, this PowerPoint was made pre-COVID. So we are doing our best to work around COVID given the circumstances right now. We are uncertain what next semester holds as far as everything going on right now. But we are still offering the same types of food. So we'll still have those lines. It'll just be different times throughout the day. So it just depends on how things are going next semester, but typically we do have more food choices and different times for students to go in there. Those dining halls are typically open all day. And then during that semester, that winter break, students are not required to move all of their belongings out. They're just required to turn in their key and do a proper checkout with their RA, but they can leave all of their stuff in there and just take whatever they need for the holiday. But when they come back, they'll be moving into the same residence hall, and into the same room, so it shouldn't be an issue. So let's see. Will you be able to stay in the same room for the spring semester? So like I said before, once you sign that residence hall contract, it's for the full academic year. We don't have like just for the semester unless it's the spring semester. So if you're signing in the fall, you're signing for fall and spring, unless you do a contract termination, which is in our office as well, but that's something separate. You guys can go ahead and email us if you have specific questions like that. But if you only selected fall, so yeah, you would definitely have to live here fall and spring. And if you purchase an all-access meal plan and the full funds aren't used. So Bearcat Bucks transfer over from fall to spring. However, the dining swipes do not transfer over. So we recommend that you definitely go in there and utilize that whenever you can. But the Bearcat Bucks will roll over. And your key to the RA. Okay, so you can leave your stuff in your room. Right. That's exactly right. And then we do have, if you would like to stay in the residence hall during any of the breaks, you're more than welcome to do that. You'll just have to come into our office and fill out a break request form. So that's just a form saying you'd like to stay during the break, and then that's 100% okay as well. Spring to summer. They will not roll over from spring to fall. I'm not entirely sure if they roll over from spring to summer. They are separate semesters, so it's a little bit tricky there. I know in the past we have done that, so I'm not entirely sure how that will work in the future. But I'm assuming that some things will roll over, especially the Bearcat Bucks. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock the rest of this out. So these are the different floor plans that we offer here at Sam Houston. We have 4 different types of floor plans that we offer. So this first one here is the traditional style layout. So these traditional styles are mentioned below. So these are the only ones we have. These Elliott and Estill Hall, these are our all-female residence halls on campus. We only have 2 of those. The rest of them are co-ed. But so the traditional style, you'll have 2 people in 1 bedroom, and then you'll go ahead and share a bathroom with the room next to you. So it's kind of like a Jack and Jill setup, but it'll be 2 people in 1 room. You'll have 2 different wardrobe units, and then you'll have a desk in the back that you guys will both share. And then you'll be able to have a dresser as well, but you guys can move all of this furniture around. In the traditional styles, these beds do bunk for more space. So if you wanted to bunk your beds, just ask maintenance and they'll come in and go ahead and do that for you guys. And then if you are wanting more space under your bed, these beds also will raise up. They won't raise all the way to the ceiling, but they'll raise up to give you some space under the bed. And typically you can fit a few bins under there and then also a mini fridge if you'd like. So these traditional styles, most of them except for these 4 down below, will not come with a fridge. So if you wanted to bring a mini fridge into your room, you're more than welcome to do that. And you can do 1 per student. Okay, and then let's see. So that's our traditional style. And then let's see, we have an upgraded traditional as well. So we'll have 1 upgraded traditional, and that's Piney Woods. So this is where all of the learning communities are housed as well, except for those special 2. But Piney Woods is our newest residence hall. It was built in 2017. So this has all movable furniture, and that's in all the dorms as well. And then you'll also have elevator access in this one. Most of our traditional styles will not have elevator access, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And then this will come with a micro fridge. So you'll have a fridge in each room, if you can see my mouse moving here. So it'll be on each side of the room. You'll have a fridge that you'll share between just with your 1 other roommate. And then you'll also have a thermostat that you can control within the rooms as well. And Piney Woods is right across from General's Market. So it's literally a 2-minute walk to the dining hall, which is really great as well. And then in Piney Woods, we have study rooms on each floor, and there's several study rooms and common areas. And then you'll also have the Community Learning Center. So downstairs of Piney Woods on the first floor, there's a Community Learning Center. And this is basically just a huge computer lab that students are able to utilize, and it's free printing, free access to PCs and workstations. There's TVs down there, whiteboards, there's books you can check out. It's a really great tool for students in Piney Woods. And then if you have somebody, if you're doing a study group or you're having friends coming over, they can go ahead and use that learning center as well. You'll just have to make sure that you let them into the residence hall. As all of our residence halls are locked 24/7, so the only students who are allowed access into the residence hall are students who live there. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then we also have one semi-private room. So this is Lone Star Hall. This is that learning, this is the criminal justice learning community. So this is right next to the criminal justice building, and it's down the street from Old Main Market. So that's the other dining hall that we have, and we have 2 of those, as well as 2 places with fast food that you can use your Bearcat bucks at. So this one is set up a little bit differently. So semi-private is just what it sounds like. You have this half wall that divides the 2 beds, and this acts as your closet. So you have a closet on each side. So it's just a little bit more private than our traditional styles. And then you'll also have a separate movable desk and dresser for each student. So each student will have their own private desk, which is really nice as well. And then there's also ceiling fans on both sides of the room. So this student will have one and this student will have one as well, which is really great, along with a thermostat you guys can control. So this also has what we call a kitchenette. So this is just, it has some cabinet space over here and an area to prepare food. And then you'll also have a mini fridge in here as well. And then you'll also have a microwave. So our traditional styles did not come with a microwave, but Piney Woods will have a microwave. And then this one also has kind of a more private bathroom. So you'll share this bathroom with your one other roommate, and then there's no secondary rooms attached to this one. So it's just you guys in this bathroom, and this one will have a bathtub as well. Okay. And then our last one will be our private styles. So these are perhaps our most popular ones. So we have separate bedrooms for each student. And in that bedroom, you'll have your bed, you'll have a wardrobe unit, and then you'll also have a desk and a dresser. And that's for you privately, and then your roommate will have that same thing. The only thing you guys will share is this living area right here, which comes furnished. You don't have to bring any couches or tables because there will be some provided for you. You'll have this kitchenette as well, which will come with a kitchen sink, a lot of cabinet space, and then a fridge and a microwave. And then you'll also have this double vanity area right here. So this just has your mirrors, your cabinet space, and your sinks. And then it'll have a private bathroom area with the bathtub, shower, and the toilet. So this is really nice. A lot of students like this one. The only thing you'd have to bring is your TV if you want that in the living room. And then students are allowed to have TVs in their bedrooms as well. So let's see. And then these are there's only 2 private styles. So we'll have Raven Village and Sam Houston Village. And those both have their benefits. They're a little bit of a different layout, but they're the same idea with the separate bedrooms and common area. Bearcat Village is that dorm I was mentioning earlier. So this is for upperclassmen, and it's kind of our apartment style dorms on campus. So this one will have a full kitchen, it'll have a dishwasher, a full-size fridge, separate bedrooms, but you will share that bathroom with your roommate. You'll also have a living room as well. Students who live here are not required to have meal plans, but you're more than welcome to have any type of meal plan if you live there. And then, like I said, that's upperclassmen only. And then if you guys need to know what to bring, we have a Residence Life Handbook online. So I'm not going to click on this link right now just because it'll take me to a whole separate thing. But this is on our website, as well as a bunch of frequently asked questions, what to bring, what not to bring. Just a couple things to leave at home. We ask that you leave at home extension cords and anything that produces heat, like a toaster or a hot plate. We ask that you leave those at home, as well as candles and incense, stuff like that. but we do ask that you bring all of your cleaning supplies, everything that you'd need normally. Go ahead and bring that with you. And then we also have different hall events that Residence Life puts on, which is really great. And there's a ton of organizations on campus. You guys will hear way more about that from different departments, but we have a million organizations on campus that you guys to choose from. So we've got something for everybody. And then we have different campus events that are put out throughout the semester and throughout the year. Okay, so let's go through some of these questions again. And if you have any questions, feel free to say something, or you can go ahead and put them in the chat. And then these are this is our contact information. So this email is really great. If you guys want to email us, this goes directly to our department, and we'll go ahead and answer any questions that you have there. Or we're open Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. We're open until 5 p.m. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to call us. We're here all the time. So if you guys have any special questions that you want to ask, feel free to do that. And then let's see. So, okay, so an upperclassman, basically that's just what I call it. They are called non-first year students. So if you have graduated within 9 months of starting at Sam Houston, then you will be required to live on campus, and you're what's called a first year required student. And then if you graduated way before that, if you graduated, let's say 2018, 2019, then you'll be considered a transfer student or a non-required student. Even if your classification says freshman, you'll still be non-required, so you will be able to live in Bearcat Village. Bearcat Village does have an oven. It's got, like I said, a full kitchen, so it's got a stove and an oven, which is really great. That's why the students aren't required to have meal plans. So you're not required to move out fully during Christmas break. You're just required to take your belongings, anything that you need immediately, because the residence halls are going to be locked. And then you'll have to do a checkout with your RA and then turn in your keys. But you'll be able to come back and do a check-in in January, and basically you'll just sign some forms, they'll give you your key back, and everything will be where you left it. So no one's going to go into your room or do anything like that. We're just going to basically leave it there unless you are wanting to stay over the break, which is okay, and then you can go ahead and do that. Okay, did I miss anybody's question? Do we have any more questions for Residence Life?
I don't think you missed any in the chat. I think you got them all. So any last minute questions for Molly, or just kind of questions in general maybe? All right. I know it's a lot of information. I know that it is. Every department is throwing a bunch of information at you guys, but if you have any questions, you think of something later, feel free to call us and we'll go ahead and get those questions answered for you guys. Just make sure that you guys are doing that housing application because we'll do it on a first come, first served basis. So if you guys put down the deposit now, you'll get a better choice in dorm basically when May comes around. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of why we wanted to do this, is because those deadlines come up so quick and so long before you actually start into the fall. So I'm glad that y'all kind of emphasize those deadlines. Right. But yes, let's see. I have a couple. Okay, if my student wants to change their dorm room. So on the housing portal where you apply for housing, where you first applied for housing, there should be an option for the different forms available, and it'll just say hall transfer request. And then you can go back in and fill out that form. It's just a quick online form. And then if you guys have specific questions or you can't find it, just call our office and we'll walk you through it. It's pretty simple, so we'll go ahead and do that for you. And yes, April, a recording of this is actually going to be put onto our website, but if you'd like a copy sent directly to you, I'll put our email into this chat, and you can email us and we'll go ahead and send it over to you. All right, any more questions? All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much, Molly. Of course. That was such a great presentation. I'm so impressed. I do want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out. I do know that it was a lot of information in a kind of a short amount of time. But if you are here and you are a parent of a student that's coming in next fall, or if you are a student that's coming, you are very ahead of the game just by being here. I just really wanted to emphasize those dates that are coming up, that November 1st, and then that deposit date for Residence Life. And then also, a little pub, but our office is actually offering appointments for incoming students. So an accepted student mentor will sit down with your student, or if you'd like to sit down with them with your student, that's okay as well. And they can kind of answer some questions and get you through that accepted student checklist. And we can get you over to Molly's area, and we can get you over to Allie in financial aid. So we'll kind of direct you to the right place. But yeah, thank y'all again for coming out. And if we have any last minute questions, I don't think I see any. But yeah, if you have any questions at all, go ahead and email us at orientation@shsu.edu, and we'll get you over to either Molly's area or financial aid, or answer any questions that y'all have. And this recording will be up on our website by the end of the week. All right, thank y'all, everyone. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all.